out though, but not enough. In your dream, does he have Sunder? No. Doesn't have it leveled up. They lose Mizu as well. Alacrity being held back. Paulson being ran down. And the Ogre Magi is set to fall as MG.Trust are finding their aggression. They get with the tips out onto Paulson. So they're feeling confident in this game too. Triangle. So they're going to be hunting down In Your Dream. They know he's up there. Scans out. But there's that 8 with the global silence as well. In Your Dream. Going to be caught out and just killed off. Just like that. Simple. More int coming through. Smoke on smoke doesn't pay off. They're going to wrap around from behind. Alacrity does get to pull off onto Key. Does start to drop low. Set0 now standing in the middle. Does pop his Baratron. They get the ults off onto Alacrity. He is ruptured up. Blood Right's there. Can they get the damage off in that silence? Yes, they can. Fearless does get the kill of his own as Mizu's being chased down. That 8 was just doing so much work. Mizu being held back. Jokam does manage to jump away, but there's the spirits out from Fearless. Jump onto the Mirana. Find another kill. Monster is just racing around with all the speed he has on the Bloodseeker. Not going to dive tier 2s yet. Paulson maybe looking to be cheeky. Doesn't have the global silence. Hello, Mike.
Hello, John. I've heard you going on for non-stop now. It's bottom lane. Now I'm going to go on to the Ember, Aether Remnants there, and double Astral Step will get it done. Thank you for that, Jonathan. I believe we found the issue, and I think I can confidently say that's not going to happen again tonight. I probably shouldn't say that, but I believe we found the issue, and I was trying to resolve this issue. In fact, hold that door, because Masaros, he's about to get caught out. Arrow, though, is way off the mark. They were trying to find a nice angle, and Masaros, he will still drop anyway. But Bloodright's going to come in, and Global Silence is committed, and they've got In Your Dream. Got a great kill on the Terrorblade. It's now Motivate. They will take over the Dire Triangle. But what's been happening during...
To get the damage off. Like, you've got a Silencer who's hitting really hard with all the levels he's got. They will lock down Fearless, though.
And they've got the Ember. Fearless, he's just going to get blown up.
Normally.
As a Motivate. They're going to stay clumped up around this bottom tier 2 tower. Mizu, swap out. Fearless, he does avoid the arrow this time around. And Set0 was there anyway, just in case he needed it. They'll chain up the Venge. Mizu, he'll have no choice but to take the death. Also lose the illusion there, so Motivate with their draft to go after this Roshan, but they are going to get away with it. First Roshan of the game to go the way of MG.Trust. GXR, I mean, they're still just biding their time trying to farm up on this Terrorblade, and In Your Dream slowly but surely is going to get there. Just working towards that Eye of Skadi now, but he is consistently about 3k net worth behind Jackie.
Yeah, this is a really farmed up Silencer. Ag's already up in queue, so he's got the Last Word upgrade, and that's just so painful. AoE Last Word with AoE Arcane Curse. And if this game drags on until he hits the level 25, with the Last Word Mute, that's going to be really painful for Jigsaw. Now, that will take a lot of time, as he's still level 12, but the possibility is there, Mike. AoE Doom.
You'd love to see it. I mean, you and I haven't had the pleasure of seeing it yet. That AoE, the AoE mute out with the Silencer, but maybe one day we'll get to see it. I know you're still waiting. You mention it pretty much every time we have a Silencer in the game. As bot lane, Fearless, he's been caught out, but Set0 is going to be there to save the day again with the Aphonic Shield. Looks like GXR, they're just going to back their way out. But I know you've been patient, John, with this this muting thing on the Silencer. It's we still haven't seen it, which is rather upsetting, but it is still very doubtful to see Q getting to the level 25 mark, especially when they're this dominant in the game. Though Arrow does land, Masaros, he does get caught out, Global Silence is there, Rupture's still going on Alacrity, but it does eventually wear out. But still, they are unable to find a kill onto Masaros. They will lose Jokam in response to trying. And Motivate, I don't know if they're quite ready to go high ground yet, but with an Aegis up on Jackie, they might try.
Yep, I think they can. They don't have Global Silence though, so that's a bit of a hard part. They don't have their big control, but...
Trains out, they do lock down the Ogre. Mizu, nice swap away in the Venge. Still, it barely saves the Ogre's Magi's now. Alacrity, he's going to jump in for a cheeky Resonant Pulse. Bloodright is there. Mizu gonna have to tank through the damage. So now they might go back in. Last word. Curse. It might just be enough. And it will be. Mizu does end up going down on the Venge. And Motivate. They're just sniping people right now. They swap Masaros back in, but a quick BKB out is gonna make sure he does remain safe. So go after that Venge Remnant. Joe Cam will try to jump in with the Starfall, but ultimately all they can do is slowly chip away at Motivate. When you've got Setsuro right behind Jackie, he's just not going to die, as now Fearless does jump in. He's got Joe Kemp down already, and he's going to go for a bit more now. Onto the Yoga, he's got Polison. Alacrity's still ruptured up. He'll try to fight back the best he can, but Bloodright's going to be there with the Rod of Atos. He'll juke out with the Yules. Back to Alacrity, double step is out onto Fearless, but a Photic Shield to save again. Jackie, he'll lose the Aegis, but he wants the reset anyway. He won't mind. And in the end, they're going to go for the racks. No problem. Like Polison, he almost dies to the curse again. Arrow, it's not even going to land, I don't think, on Jackie. So Jackie just walks away with the BKB up now. Suppose Setsuro was there with the Photic Shield anyway. Is In Your Dream going to move in now with the Eye of Skadi up. Maybe they could kill Jackie at this point, as everybody's left him behind. And he will in the end go down. So GXR able to pick up another kill for themselves. And Setsuro, he's stuck in the pace right now, so he's going nowhere. In Your Dream will take another. And so ultimately, even though the tier 3 tower was taken down, GXR able to fight back.
Yeah, they managed to hold on to their racks. They do lose the tier 3, but at least the creeps aren't going to shove in as hard without super creeps up, and they are buying more time. The lead for MG.Trust still remains at 4K, so it's not quite growing at the rate you'd expect despite that kill lead they have. They haven't been able to widen their net worth, and that just means In Your Dream still farming up really well. That Skadi timing just leads him to really dish the damage out, get the slows off for his team. The only counteraction for that on MG.Trust side is to get that Satanic timing on Jackie, so he can just out-heal the healing reduction of the Skadi downline. He's still ways off from that Satanic, though. It does look like he is prioritizing damage, going for that Daedalus first. So we'll see if that will be enough to sit true. Mizu has to be a bit cautious. He's been throwing his body forward. Fearless pops his BKB as well.
I mean, why the hell not? That's a pos 3 Avenger going after, and if you can get the kill with the BKB, you may as well just pop it. The cooldown, the duration, it doesn't really matter so much anymore with the changes to the BKB that were around a couple patches ago. Just feels like you're more than happy to pop it if you can find a value kill, and Mizu certainly is a value kill right now for MG.Trust. So they have a 4K net worth lead now. I mean, In Your Dream, though, he's still going to be a bit of a scary man as they run in now with the Moonlight Shadow out. Arrow is going to land Jackie. He's been caught out all by himself. And he's going to go down. His tips are flying out already from GXR. But you've got to start getting a little bit worried if you're a MG.Trust fan, John. In Your Dream's taken over the net worth board now. And that's a really bad sign for Motivate.
Yeah, this terribly, it's getting really big. Once he has the BKB, you don't really have any way of holding him down. You have to kind of time your global silence once you see the BKB commitment. If you are worried about Sunder down the line, there's always going to be a saving play here on GXR to ensure In Your Dream stays alive. And just leads more on.
They've got Alacrity. Captured up, he'll Yule's up. Glimmercape is there as well, but the follow-up is out from Fearless. They even find themselves a nice DD rune to bottle up there for the Ember. So still a great kill there for MG.Trust now. Not quite on par with the kill that GXR got onto Jackie, but still something, as now Setsuro's been caught out. He should be alright though, he's an Abaddon. Does have the borrowed time up and will eventually pop it. GXR unable to follow up right afterwards. It's still a very close match between these two teams, but a 2K net worth lead now for Motivate. He's slowly just dropping back the way of GXR. And I'll tell you, once that Daedalus is fully available, in fact, never mind the Daedalus, John, In Your Dream, he's changed his mind. BKB coming up. Even then, once you've got that up, it just feels more and more impossible to actually kill off In Your Dream.
It just becomes a game of chicken where your silencer has to watch for BKB use, time that global silence to ensure you're still going to get that control on In Your Dream to prevent the Sunder, and that's easier said than done. We've seen MG.Trust, they rely on that global silence to catch out just the Void Spirit. And such a long cooldown spell, it's not a very short cooldown, even at max level, it's still 100 seconds. So there's a lot of downtime that GXR can kind of use and kind of just look for the openings, get their own kills, get that build up. They are slowly building up Swell and their other heroes here on GXR. Alacrity is inching towards his Ags. Just about 200 gold off, huh? Fearless.
And he gets a BKB off right in time. Knew the arrow was coming after that Aether Remnant. Meanwhile, towards the north, Fearless. Move in to help out Set Zero. Make sure Paulison can't just easily start throwing these stuns out. And if you're Motivate, you still feel like you're the team in the lead right now. You definitely want to be the instigators if you can. GXR, though, seem to be the ones getting aggressive, but Mizu gets Ruptured up on the Venge. Master Ross gonna move in. They'll have enough to get through the Venge, but not the Remnant. It's now the full-scale team fight will break out. Set Zero already borrowed time is out, and Jackie, he's dropping quite low on the Gyrocopter. They're gonna try and back out. In goes In Your Dream, though, and they've got the damage. They've got more than enough to get through the Gyro, as now Q has also been caught out. Another tip out for the Silencer now. And just bad news over and over again for Motivate, as you gave a double kill over to the Terrorblade on the opposite side. And they're onto that mid tier 2 tower.
Yeah, they've hit this massive spike in Your Dream. He didn't even need to pop his BKB in that fight, so he still has that for whatever follow-up comes through from MotivateTrust. And it's just boiling down to this itemization issue for Jackie. He was going for the Daedalus first before the Satanic. He can't sustain the man fight. Even if he does get the full Daedalus up, with a Scotty up in Your Dream, you're just not going to be able to outlast him. Your life steal is not going to be there at all with just casual Morbid Mask. In Your Dream's just going to constantly right click you with a Metamorphosis, and the back and forth just doesn't pan out. So we're going to have to see if MotivateTrust can kind of ride through this rough spot. They are lagging behind now by about less than 1k. So GXR has turned the tables in terms of net worth. And it does feel like as this game goes on, it's just going to boil down to how you engage. Like, can you get a good global silence off? Can you time it against the BKBs? GXR have been extremely patient with their own BKB use, whereas MotivateTrust have been much more willing to just pop it immediately, and that leads to a disparity in the spell immunity in these engagements.
The prize is mine.
Looks like both teams already kind of setting up for the next Roshan attempt. Both teams understanding how important that is going to be, and Roshan, it's going to be up in 15 seconds. Very, very soon. Both teams understand the timing very well, just waiting around, trying to position nicely, but MotivateTrust, they smoke up. They want to try and move in right here, right now, and Paulson, he's going to spot out the smoke immediately. He's now the jumps out, Set Zero. He'll pop the borrowed time, and he'll be fine. However, they'll keep moving in. Fearless remnanting forward onto Paulson. Meanwhile, Jackie, he's dropping so low. They've got the Gyrocopter down once again. He has buyback available, but he'll hold out for now, as they will chase down Fearless. Luckily for Fearless, he does have the Ags available right now on the Ember, so he's going to be perfectly fine. But man, Jackie, he just drops so darn quick on the Gyrocopter. In Your Dream, by the way, he's suddenly 5k net worth ahead. It's just kind of ridiculous how quickly this game switched it up.
It's Kami-sama. You give him some space, you give him a couple of kills, he takes over. In that last fight, he didn't even have Metamorphosis. He just ran down Jackie in the middle, got the right clicks off in melee form. Doesn't matter. Without the Satanic, the Gyrocopter just can't stand and fight. And the itemization is hurting MotivateTrust. Aegis does go the way of GXR. They've got the safety net now on their TB. They've got the Shard kind of sitting in the backpack as well. We'll see if they actually do want that Demon Zeal. I don't know if you really want it, but it doesn't look like they really have. They're not really prioritizing that Shard use. Tier 2 top going to fall really fast, and that's going to leave one outer tower left for MotivateTrust. And they're finding themselves on the back foot now. 4k lead on the side of GXR. They need more items on MotivateTrust to really kick into gear. They need Jackie to just have some good lifesteal on hand. And he does stop the Daedalus. He's just trying to make up for it with a Satanic. Has almost enough gold for the Reaver, but that still puts him about 1.3k behind, plus the need for buyback. So he's going to have to weigh those options now, as one bad fight with no buyback is going to lead to his demise. Full Daedalus up for In Your Dream now. So he hits like a massive truck, and he does have Metamorphosis ready to go, and they actually do go for the Demon Zeal. So you might not even need that Metamorphosis to get all his damage off.
Yeah, I think the Demon Zeal is something that's pretty underrated by most TB players. Like, it still does some decent work. It just gives you another option in the melee form, which is, you know, I get Terrorblade doesn't really want to fight with that meta anyway, but in the middle of a team fight, your Metamorphosis expires. At least you've got something to try and fight back with, is the way I think about it.
Think about the stacking there. Like, so plus 100% more of that bonus. So 100 move speed, 100 attack speed, plus Bloodlust. That's a ridiculous amount of attack speed In Your Dream can get out and just machine guns with his right clicks. It's difficult for Motivate.Trust. Even in melee form, they have some ways of kiting him. It just doesn't pan out, and he still has somehow he still has a 9-second BKB up.
Here we go. Demon's popped. He's attacking very, very fast right now. The TB is Q.
Ooh.
Whoopsie. Gets caught out with his pants down. The Venge, Mizu. Nah, he's going to be just fine. He has swap in 5. Last word out. Bloodright going to hold him down for a bit. Remnants forward. Mizu, he's still running out of there. He's going to survive through it. In fact, never mind. He does finally drop, but now Fearless has been caught out. He'll get his BKB off in time and try to fight back. So get In Your Dreams Aegis as well. But he has the meta up. He's ready to pop it whenever. You can still easily fight this if you're GXR. Even without the Aegis up, I think with the Metamorphosis, you should still feel more than confident to try and move into that high ground. And I'm sure GXR understand how far ahead they are right now in net worth. They're just waiting for that right moment.
Yep. They just need to be a bit cautious. They know Global Silence is down. It's a relatively simple push up.
Oh, swap in. Fearless. He's been silenced again, and they just rip through him. Mizu buys back immediately. So he dies. No problem. He'll buy back. They seem to believe Fearless might not have a buyback available, but he does. Thing is, it doesn't appear he wants to use it. So In Your Dream, gonna move back in onto that bot Rax. Takes it very, very fast. Swap out again. Who have they got this time? It's going to be Jackie. That is a massive, massive target. And Jackie just does not survive at all. Is now Fearless. Where's the Remnant, Fearless? What happened? Was he not BKB'd? Am I blind here, John? Masaros is going to try and run. GXR. They'll keep moving. Into the mid-racks they go. You've got 2 heroes down, 2 cores in particular without buyback right now. In GXR, they should be able to at least clear a second lane of barracks like this. Mizu, nice swap in. He's got set 0 there on the Abaddon. Borrowed time immediately popped, but is it going to be enough? With the 4-star from Masaros, it will be, but Alacrity still steps in. Doesn't quite get the kill, but we'll be able to back off just fine. Hell, GXR, they've still got a time for a 3rd Rax if they really want to. But it looks like they're going to play it safe. They'll back out.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mistake coming out from Motivate.Trust. They don't manage to use that Satanic pickup on Jackie. He did buy it out, so he was left with no buyback because of it. It just left him in a really awkward position. We're seeing that the Satanic's just not enough. If he's focused down by GXR with all the damage they have on hand, the Gyrocopter can't hold out by itself. And you even have that Satanic on In Your Dream now as well. So the back and forth will just generally favor that Terrorblade. 16k lead for GXR. Motivate.Trust really starting to lose the grip on the map. GXR just managing to bounce back in really strong form. And Jackie?
Oh, Jackie, no. He gets swapped in. Mizu, he's there once again. In Your Dream, he has no mana, but it doesn't matter. He's just got so much damage. He'll keep rushing forward. Jackie just getting dived underneath the tier 3 tower by In Your Dream on his own, and he'll just get it done. He's 11k net worth ahead here In Your Dream. It's kind of a ridiculous comeback from GXR considering how far behind they were. And Motivate.Trust, they're going to be feeling quite bad about this one. As Meta's popped In Your Dream, he'll go for the Mega Creeps now. And without Jackie for another minute, how do you defend this? Hell, even with Jackie, how do you defend this base?
Yeah, I don't see it. I think In Your Dream's just way too big to handle. They kind of missed their spike on Motivate.Trust side. Maybe if they can punish if they catch someone from GXR just kind of stepping out of bounds, but they're so disciplined to stay together in a pretty good spot. No Global Silence as well for about 40 seconds means they don't have a clear piece of control to kind of just find an opening. And even if they did get the GS, In Your Dream still has an 8-second beacon. He just hasn't used it much.
He doesn't need it. Onto set 0. Borrow time immediately being triggered, but look at In Your Dream. He just aims the Ancient. He knows what he needs to do to win this game, and that's exactly what he's going to do as Fearless. He's jumped the backlines, but they've called the GG. He doesn't want to die again, but he'll have no choice in the matter, as they will just clean them up, and In Your Dream, he's into the fountain now. He wanted another, but he won't get it. It won't matter though, John. Another great game out from GXR, and they'll take this one 2-0 against MG.Trust. And man, I mean, this game too, it looked kind of like a dominant start for Motivate, but it just doesn't pan out that way.
They had a really good start early on, but it came down to one issue. When they had the lead, it peaked at about 6K gold. They never managed to widen that lead, or high ground push was all right. They took the tier 3, but they made some sacrifices, couldn't find a Rax, and once they started dropping in those team fights with In Your Dream joining in with a Scotty, the timings just didn't line up. Jackie was still trying to rush the Daedalus instead of the Satanic. He was just held back. The swaps were really good coming out from Mizu. And GXR just had the patience to believe in Your Dream. We've seen them in that position before, where the early game, the mid game might shape up a bit awkwardly, but they always hold on, keep the network from really growing big, and just build up in Kami-sama, and it just pays off. GXR, off the back of that, maintain a 10-game streak. 10 games undefeated for GXR. Outstanding.
Oh, it really is. Really is quite an impressive performance here from GXR. And John, they'll have a chance to make it a 12-game streak now, because they are on the next series against Execration. So I'm very curious to see if GXR can just keep up this domination that we've been seeing over the past couple days. Again, Execration currently, I believe, just ahead of them in the groups, though they may have been overtaken now by GXR. But we'll head to a short 15-minute break, and right after that break, we're going to be back with our second series between GXR and Execration.
There's this really long history of using games as a benchmark for AI.
When you look at the game of Dota, there is 10,000 plus variables every moment that your system has to take in.
The AI learns in a very different way than humans.
It plays against copies of itself many, many times off in the cloud.
We basically trained this one system continuously for 10 months.
And in about a month, we're going to play the winners of TI.
I guess this is what leads us here. Best team in the robotics versus the best team in the flesh.
it up. Start it up. This is lit.